everyone, welcome back to Serving Up Plumbing with me, David Butler. And I'm excited today because we're actually going out in the field and we're going to do another type of trenchless technology. We're going to be pulling a water line today, which means we're going to burst through the old water line and put a brand new one without having to dig a trench across your entire yard. But before we get to that, please hit that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up if you like this video, and let me know what you'd like to see in the future. Now, let's go learn how to use the Roddie Pipe Shark. All right, let's get into pulling pipes for water lines. So, we've got some great guys here working with us today. Oscar, our licensed plumber, and also Cesar, who's his apprentice, about to be a plumber. As you can see, they're feeding the cable. One thing that we've got in this video that we're not showing is we've already pushed the cable through the pipe that's in the ground, and that's through the old pipe that's in the ground. You have to get both ends opened up. You slide the cable through the old pipe, and then we have the ability to put the machine in the ground and get ready to pull it. One thing he's got on there, if you'll notice, that red piece of metal in the middle, that is a pipe splitter. As we do the pull, that pipe splitter is actually going to be splitting the old pipe. Now we're going to lift this machine up and set it down in the ground. Now, this is a heavy piece. It's usually a two-man job. A real strong one man could do it, but it's 130 pounds approximately for lifting this. You can see we've got a couple of 2x4 blocks in the bottom to help level it and get it up off the bottom to center it on the hole where the pipe is coming through. You can see the hole where the cable's going through the Roddie Pipe Shark. We want that to line exactly up where the water line is coming out of the wall of our ditch. So they're going to pull the slack cable out of there, get it lined up correctly. All that slack cable has to go all the way in, pull it on back. Then we're going to slide that machine up towards the head of the ditch, right over that piece of pipe you see. You can kind of see that blue Quest pipe that we're going to be bursting right there in the ground. All right, we're going to push that as far forward as we can get it, and you don't have to worry about getting it too tight to the front of that ditch, because once you start pulling this pipe through, it's going to pull that machine right up against the wall of that ditch really tight. This machine delivers 3,000 psi of hydraulic pressure, which turns into tons and tons of force in the ground to pull that pipe through. Once we start doing it, you'll notice that it's very smooth and easy that it pulls that pipe through. You get a good look at it right here. We've got the cable pulled through. Now, this happens to be a special circumstance. We had a barrier right there, a concrete barrier that was in our way we couldn't remove, so we had to tunnel under it. It makes a little bit more of a difficult pull on this particular job to run it through back there. Now, you just saw Cesar. He is extracting the jaws, or extracting them back far enough so that they bite over the cable. There's also a guide there on the back that just turns 90 degrees to cover it and guide on. And he's ready to go. So we're going to go to the other end now where the meter is. We just put the pre-splitter on. The pre-splitter splits the pipe prior to having to go through the actual pull head. And we want to clean that cable really good. Now the pull head could be used by itself, and that's what he's putting on right now. So that slides over the cable. You bottom out the cable right into that, and then you tighten it down really tight right here. And there's actually teeth inside it, kind of like the grippers on the other end, and they bite down on the cable. One thing about this way you don't damage your cable. You're not pulling a cable across concrete or anything else like we've done in the past. You can see in Oscar's hand there on the right, that's the pin that goes in it after you pull the cable out, just to keep it clean and good. Now, one thing too, as I said, we've got jaws in here that we tighten down. So every time you use this, you want to pump grease into this until you see it coming out the end by the cable. That means we've coated the entire inside of that cable with a good coating of grease, and with dirt or mud or anything else that gets in there, it's going to kind of protect it and still allow you to get the jaws to come loose after you pull that pipe through. So always make sure and grease it every single time that you do it. Now we want to get our pull insert that goes on the pipe. So you see it, you screw this in. It's kind of just a big threaded wedge. And you screw this into your PEX or your poly pipe really, really tight. Now, you do not have to screw it all the way in. This particular head is made to where it'll use 1 inch, 1 1/4 inch, even 1 1/2 inch you can screw it into. And it'll also pull 3/4. But in most cases, you want to be running 1 inch water service because 1 inch PEX or poly has about the same flow rate as 3/4 inch copper because the insert fittings cause a little issue. You want to tighten it down till it starts bulging it out pretty good, and you're good. You see he didn't have to screw it all the way in. Now we're going to put the pin through and hook this pipe up to the burster head. You can see the burster head has 1 ripper on it. We're going to tighten this down really well, get it good and tight, because we don't want anything coming loose under the ground. So we've got that good and tight. We're going to pull out that Allen wrench, and now we're ready to go to town pulling that cable through. All right. You can see here we've got the ditch already dug, everything cleaned out. Back down there to the lower left, you can see there's the pipe, and we're slowly pulling it by hand. This will slide through the old pipe, and we want to get that burster head and the pre-splitter right up snug against the old pipe that's in the ground. So we're going to pull that down into the dirt, get it right butted up against the old pipe, and once we do that, we're ready to go. So now we're ready to get the hydraulic hoses hooked up. The hydraulic hoses are about 50 feet long. Now you can see we've got the actual hydraulic pump out in the yard, actually in the street, right behind the pickup there, protecting it, but we didn't have to roll it up to the job site. We could even leave it on the truck if we were close enough. We hook up both hoses. These are male and female hoses. They just push on, and they're quick connects. When you get ready to pull them off, you just have to release the collar. You cannot hook them up backwards, which is a great thing. This hose is kind of made like Romex wire. It's connected together. We're going to pull that to the other end, hook up the hoses onto our hydraulic puller. Once we get that done, we're ready to fire up the machine. So we go out, get it started up, and get the hydraulic pressure going, and we're ready to start pulling. Now you can see the hydraulic arms moving in and out right there, and they're pulling the cable. Now we added a couple of pieces of PVC pipe on here. One to keep the splitter, the post splitter straight up and down so it doesn't get tangled up in any way in our hydraulic hoses, because again, we've got a lot of pressure going here. And on the left, you see the PVC pipe that's going back and forth. That's actually controlling the forwards and backwards on the hydraulic arm there, pulling it. That way you're not down in the ditch with it. You don't have to dig as big a hole, and it's a safer situation. Right here, you can see the pipe actually sliding into the hole where the old pipe started, and it goes about 6 to 8 inches of pull, just depending on how far you go. Now, one thing, when you are pulling this pipe, you don't want to bottom out your hydraulic arms every time. Once you do it a little bit, you can kind of tell how far it's going to go in and out. And that's a little easier on your hydraulics, on your hoses, on your seals, your hydraulic seals, because every time you bottom it out, it puts a little pressure on there, or pressure surge. And that pressure surge is going to cause a lot of pressure on your seals. So to make it last longer, learn to use it where you're not bottoming it out each time. And you can see how smooth this is pulling in. Again, 6 to 8 inches at a time. You can see this is pulling in real smooth and easy. The lettering going in. Now we got Cesar up there operating it. We've got Oscar here feeding the pipe in. You do want to make sure that the pipe is straight and not twisted or coiled up, that you don't have any kinks in it or any twists. And it just goes straight in. So this is a two-man job. One man's using the puller, and one man's feeding the pipe in. So as you can see, it moves pretty quick. We're moving the pipe. The cable's coming through. It's splitting most of the old pipe. Now, one thing about this, as we get towards the end of the pull, you're going to start seeing pipe coming out of the hole. And right here, you can kind of see a little bit of the pipe starting to come through. There's some 3/4 inch Quest pipe in here that's about starting to come through. And it will pull out a little bit more and more as the splitter and burster head get closer and closer to the end of the pull. Just because the ground is not going to grab it as well, because there's not near as much pipe left in the ground. We've split the other pipe and left it in the ground. But as we get towards this end, you're going to start noticing that we've got Quest pipe that's starting to pull out. And we have to be really careful at the end of the pull because you don't want to pull your pre-burster head right up against it. So let's fast forward there a little bit. You can see closer up here, there's the Quest pipe slowly starting to pull out. And just very shortly here, we should start to see our burster head. Actually, it's going to be the pre-splitter we see first coming through the hole. That Quest pipe's going to get pushed right up against the pipe splitter that splits the pipe as it comes out of the hole. And in this case, this Quest pipe may not even split. This is some very soft pipe. It cuts really well. You can see it starting to cut. And there comes the splitter head, ripping that pipe open right up to the post splitter. And right there is where you want to stop. We don't want to pull any further right there. We want to release the tension off of our cable. And now we want to, you can see we go ahead and pull the PVC pieces off. Now you can see a good shot at what it looks like. We release the pressure. We want to start pulling the cable out. We released it from the jaws. The cables get some slack out of it, and we're going to have to get it pulled out a little bit so we can pull some extra pipe out. And understand, this burster head is about 2.5 to 3 inches in diameter. So it's going to give you a very good sized hole that's not going to be binding up the pipe really bad. So you can usually grab onto this pipe or this cable by hand, and you can see they're pulling the pipe right on out of the hole, not even using the burster anymore. So you want to pull some extra pipe out. Now he's disconnecting the pipe from the burster head. We're going to take that loose. We're going to loosen up that burster head, get it completely off. Then we're going to take the burster head off the cable. Go ahead and get that cable up and out of our way. Lay the burster head to the side. Now we're ready to pull that machine out of the ground. Again, it's a two-man job to make it easier. Nobody wants to hurt their backs here. Awesome job. We've got that whole thing bursted. Way to go, Oscar and Cesar. You can see Cesar here pulling out some extra pipe. Again, this was an extra difficult one because we had this poured in place concrete flower bed barrier. And Cesar's pulling on some extra pipe on out here. The actual tie-in that we're going to be doing is right up there close to the house. Now we've got one solid pipe pulled through the ground all the way to the meter. And that's how you do trenchless technology with the Roddie Pipe Shark and new pipe without tearing up someone's yard. Man, if it's one thing I love, it's trenchless technology and new and innovative things that we can do to take better care of our customers. The Roddie Pipe Shark is a great piece of equipment. There's lots of them on the market that make different ones. I know Hammerhead, Ditch Witch, lots of companies make really good pipe pullers. We happen to use the Roddie Pipe Shark. We are not sponsored by them, but it's a great piece of equipment if you want to get into trenchless technology for pulling new water lines. I hope you learned a lot from this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I want to hear your thoughts on it. What type of machine are you using out there in the field? Let me know some of your tricks to the trade. Hope to see you again next time on Serving Up Plumbing with David Butler. Please make sure and give this a thumbs up. And don't forget to tell your friends the Butler did it.